I genuinely don't understand how some guys will be like, oh my gosh, like, you're so masculine. I want a girl that's so feminine. You are the feminine girl. You are, in fact, a literal bitch, and you are a crybaby. Like, this generation of men, what? I just don't understand. Like, honey bunny, we can't both be feminine. If you want to be masculine, play your part. Someone's got to be the boss and someone's got to be the baby. Pick your poison, my love.
We are in the day and age of rage baiting. And as more and more women are getting desperate and men are not cooperating with women as far as relationships are concerned, the rage baiting frequency and varieties are just escalating at an amazing level. And that's what we're going to talk about today, my friends. Rage baiting. Because women have it down to a fine art. And unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, channels like this, like mine, do share women's rage baiting content. And the reason I share it is because I need you guys to be aware of women's BS and women's pathology, the way they operate. I want you guys to be aware of what's happening as far as the relationship space, okay? Whether it's to protect yourself or to protect your sons or to tell your daughters not to do this, it is irrelevant as long as you guys understand the information. I do the dirty work so that you guys don't have to deal with the aftermath of the BS. Now, the rage baiting can get to a point where it does create a certain amount of animosity from men, right? And I don't want you guys to fall into this trap because really it's not serving you well. But I don't want you to turn off from it. I rather would like you to be aware of it and just pick different women. But when you are aware of it, you can see it occurring, whether it's with your wife, whether it's with your significant other, or your kids, if you have girls. Once you're aware of it, you'll know how to avoid it and point it out. Say, listen, I'm not falling for that shit. I've seen this method of trying to manipulate me before. No, I'm not broke. I choose not to spend money on you. No, I'm not feminine. I'm trying to be a little bit more emotionally available, like you always complain about. So, my friends, we're going to get into it. Like the video on the way in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. You know what I always ask you. Check out some of my digital product in the description of this video and all of my other videos. Pick up the Content Creators Toolkit and start making some content today, my friends. It's the best deal on the market. I'm going to put out an update to that because as AI starts to get better, I have found better and faster methods for you guys to create content. So look out for that. All of you who have already bought the kit will get a free upgrade, of course. And for those of you that haven't picked up the Content Creators Toolkit for $49.95, please note it's going to get an upgrade. All right. So I found this lady who basically realized the position that men are in, and I want to just feature her video. She hit some really good points because she sees the problem.
Men in this generation, I honestly feel bad for the good men in this generation. It seems like no matter what they do, they can't win. If they are emotionally available and consistent, they are labeled as clingy or too much. But if they give women space and protect their own peace, they are accused of being emotionally unavailable or distant. A lot of men are being put through emotional obstacle courses just to be seen as worthy, and often by women who don't even know what they want themselves. There's a contradiction that's hard to ignore. Many women say they want a present, attentive partner, but then turn around and reject that very behavior once it's given to them. It's like we have entered a generation of mixed signals, where a man is expected to be both obsessed and indifferent, dominant but soft, emotionally intelligent but never too vulnerable. The truth is, a lot of this chaos we see in modern dating is rooted in unresolved trauma. Many people, especially those caught in cycle after cycle of situationship, are carrying deep wounds, whether it's from absent fathers, toxic exes, or a culture that glamorizes dysfunction. You can't build something healthy when you're still bleeding from the past, and you can't keep blaming every man when you have never stopped to heal yourself. At the end of the day, you can't eat your cake and have it too. If you want a solid, loving relationship, you have to be ready to receive one. And that starts with clarity, maturity, and healing on both sides.
Oh, sister, we love you. We love you. I found her telling about ABT. I found her on TikTok, but she has laid it out clearly because she's identified the problems that we're now dealing with in the relationship market. One thing that she pointed out that was absolutely clear, and I have said it in many of my other videos, women are too accustomed to having hookups, situationships, one-night stands, you name all of the sexual activity, they're very good at handling those type of interactions with men. But when it comes to a real relationship, none of these women have these skills. None. But I don't want to just blame the women because the men are also doing the same thing. But there's a caveat. It is the men that can do it. The men that can get away with doing the different hookups. The men out there who are capable of doing that are causing a tremendous amount of trauma to these women. 75-80% of the men are not capable of doing that. They don't even get relationships. So they can't even build relationships either. So they are relationship stunted. They cannot, no woman wants to date them. The women want the men that are desired by all of the other women. And those men have choices and they treat them like shit. They get traumatized. And the poor men who don't have any relationship skills, when they actually find those traumatized women, these women treat him like shit. And because he don't know how to handle their trauma and their bullshit, and he decides that he's going to be the nice guy and be cooperative and be attentive, etc., and then they accuse him of being clingy because they've never been with a man who was caring. You see how fucked up this environment is? These men don't know how to have relationships. All he knows is what he's seen in movies and what other people have told him. Hey, you got to care about women and you got to care about their... But when the women get that and they're not used to that kind of caring and attentive behavior, they short circuit because all they have known is the guys that they have hooked up with. It's a messed up market. And you wonder why people aren't freaking getting together? Now, let's listen to another rage baiting technique. The one thing that women tend to attack is how men interact with each other. They want to attack the group, you see. Listen to this bullshit. This is obviously a woman who's never understood men. Because women don't understand men, period.
You will never convince me that men are natural leaders. Because have you ever seen a group of men? Which one of them is the leader? What delineates groups of men is an astonishing lack of self-expression, of any sense of individuality, right? Men who hang out in groups especially will look exactly like one another. Men do that wordlessly. Like for women to copy each other and stuff like that, that takes coordination. Men, they just sort of pick an aesthetic. That's what they really bond over, is their followership, their submission to something. Okay, golfing, biker gangs, men who drive trucks, enough said, right? And to all these men, if you don't do what all of them are doing, then you get excluded.
No, lady. Men have different activity that we all participate in differently. I have my group of friends. I like playing golf. 50% of my friends don't play golf. I have friends who like shooting. I'm not a fan of shooting. I have friends who do yoga. I'm not a big yoga fan. But some of them do. I think you get my point. The point is, men form groups of activity that we all individually like or dislike. And we either do it or we don't do it. And we either participate or we don't participate. I don't understand where you're going with this. If we're playing golf, which is an individualistic sport, there is no leadership. If we're playing basketball, we immediately identify who the best players are. And usually we would want him on our team, okay? If we're playing football, we know who the quarterback is going to be. For my American friends, if we're playing soccer, we pick the guy that is best suited for the position. That's it. If we're out in the wild, we will also find the guy that's best suited for the position. If a guy is good at navigating, he's going to navigate. If one guy is good with a gun or a bow and arrow, and he's the best hunter, he will be the guy that we're going to rely on for getting the food. I don't have to give you any more examples. Men, we look at who's best at what. Women always looking at, well, what's fair? It's not fair. We don't give a shit about fair. Who's best at what? We don't care how they look, who they are. So obviously this woman just have no clue who men are.
See, that's where I struggle to see the leadership parallel, right? Because normally when somebody does something different, that's leadership, that's uniqueness, that's originality, that is forward progress. But what about gatekeeping? Being a crab in a bucket is leadership, because these men can't handle a slight deviation from whatever aesthetic they've decided that being a man is, right? If it's like those lumberjack, beard, plaid shirt, beer dudes, if you don't drink beer, you're a girl. If you don't have a beard, you're a girl. What's it like kissing your boyfriend who doesn't have a beard? I bet it's like kissing a girl. They see a structure and they fall right into it. It's comfortable. It's safe. It's what they like. Think about that. If one of them showed up in a skirt to the hangout, how are they going to treat that man? What is bro code if not unilateral submission? What is bro code if not the excuse to never be a leader ever in your life? So many men could have led the way by now by telling the truth about what it is their bros do. They could have been actual leaders, and yet they chose to fall in line so that they wouldn't be shamed by the other men. That's follower behavior. That's not leader behavior. And again, if men were leaders and such, we'd see a lot more of them break social norms. We'd see a lot more of them actually do something unique. Because even when they do go to break social norms, what do? They just copy women. They paint their nails. They do their hair. They do their makeup. Unless it's falling in line or copying someone, can't do anything.
Oh, Jesus. She's trying really hard to rage bait, but she's not making any freaking sense. The only reason that men break social norms is because those boys were raised by single mothers. They were not raised by men. There were no men in the home. The only reason social norms are being broken right now, we have a society that is run by a gynocentric mindset, a progressive movement that is pushing men to be more feminized, groomed by women. We have a mother only in the home. He goes to nursery. All of his teachers in nursery are women. He goes to high school. 80% of the teachers in the school are women. He goes to college. Most of the women, and the system is designed to teach him about female issues. The majority of the interaction are with women. More women are going to colleges because the men have been pushed out. And all through that experience, 80% of the time, he's with his mother. He's interacting with his mother's female friends. All of his interactions are female-centric. Take a look at this. This is a prime example right here. This boy is doing TikTok things with his mom. And look at the footwear. It's mama's shoes. He's wearing his mother's shoes. I don't think there could have ever been a better analogy than this.
Go ahead, show me. That you want it, that you need it, how bad baby boy, live your best life, you be tripping on me. Acting like you can't give a fuck. What you think?
Those are important.
So don't talk to men about not being men. You all are the ones that destroy men. Mothers destroy boys. Weak boys grow up to be weak men, feminized men. Personally, I call that child abuse. I can't even play anymore her rant and stupidity because she's just talking pure crap.
Men who date women in 2025 deserve a medal, and I'm going to tell you why. Women nowadays are literally impossible to date. They know exactly what they don't want, but they don't know what they do want. Well, actually, they do. What they do want is like the perfect man that doesn't exist. The man with the perfect job, but also spends loads of time at home. The family man, but also like the sexy bad boy. They want the world. Nice, Normal, nice guys just don't stand a chance. So if you're a guy who is dating in 2025, who hasn't given up, who is even trying online dating, which is a complete minefield, congratulations to you. Like, literally, you deserve a medal right now for hanging in there. But you should hang in there, and here is why. There are still some genuine women out there. I'd like to think that I'm one of them. And if you don't go out looking, if you don't put yourself out there, you're never going to meet her. Like, I know I get comments all the time from men saying, do you know what, I've given up now, I'm happier without women, I'm happier being single, I've got my kids, I've got my dogs, I've got my friends, etc. But if there is a tiny little part of you that still believes in true love and is still like a complete true romantic, please don't give up. Please continue putting in the fight for men. Please continue on your search for true love, because you never know, you might meet her today. You might meet her having a stroll in the sun park today. Maybe she's wearing little cute dungarees, who knows? But yeah, just don't give up. Hang in there and have a great day.
Yeah, it's a great advertising for herself, making you feel that, hey, there are still good women out there, and I am one of them. It's the best ad that she can put out there. Yeah, I'm being cynical, but you know what? She's right. There are good women out there. And to be honest, a lot of times, some women actually come around. Some of them actually do, because I've met a few of them. It's hard for men to take a chance on this because he's playing with a deck that is stacked against him, and the stakes are extremely high. I love this photo here that I saw. I'm gonna throw it up on the feed as well because it just puts it all together perfectly. Yep, there you go. There you go. Now listen to this other rage bait. This one takes the cake. Listen to this one.
A top-tier man is just an average woman. Think about it. A man who doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, doesn't lie, doesn't cheat, doesn't gamble, no criminal record, stable job, cooks, cleans, emotionally stable, respects others, and is kind to his family. Somehow feels like a rare find. But almost every woman I've ever met meets those standards and more. So when I finally allowed myself to date a woman, best decision I ever made. I was so sick of praising men for toddler-level accomplishments. Yeah, he just started talking about his feelings. He's doing so well. I'm bi, but if my fiance and I were to ever split up, I will not be going back to men unless they start matching or exceeding the average woman. Anyways, thanks for watching. Love you.
She has a female fiance, but still putting down men. I'm going to talk to you, dear fiance. Run, because she is one fine D away from leaving your ass. She's not a lesbian. She just have you there as a placeholder. And I've been seeing a lot of these videos about a top tier man is the equivalent of an average woman. And then she defines just an average guy, thinking that that's not available. These are the women that never even look at average men. They don't even know what these men offer. Ah, my friends, it just gets wilder and wilder out there. If you're single, gentlemen, good luck. If you're fresh back in the market, you're going to need a lot of freaking luck, I'm telling you. Because if your relationship skills have atrophy, it's going to be a nightmare getting back out here in a new market. I've seen a few men have done it, but I can tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. So, listen, I can't beat this horse anymore. Let me know what you think. Like this video on the way out. Of course, let's have a conversation in the comment section. And better yet, join the membership system on School so that we can all get together and have conversations. Because we've been having a lot of fun in the Saturday meetups where we meet bi-monthly. Every 2 weeks, we usually meet. We usually meet on Zoom, and it's a free-for-all where we can all interact and have a conversation. So get on to the membership system, my friends. All right? So until tomorrow, remember, my friends, whenever in doubt, always ask an older man. I'll see you soon. Cheers.